Hi, today we're going to learn about how JWT authentication works. There are few of you know or many know how JWT authentication works in Web API. Nowadays, everybody trying to use Web API for all their application, which will helps to transfer data in between companies easily. But security is the main thing we need to consider when you're developing web Web API. So the JWT is a new concept, a new way of authenticating, verifying your Web API and securing your Web API. Previously, we might used Symbol Web Token Authentication, XAML authentication. So the difference between those and this is very simple, lightweight, and easy to transfer the token value because it's very smaller and it's very secure so far. So let's start with a small web application, ASP.NET Core web application and web API to start test it out. Okay. Another thing, we are going to use ASP.NET Core web application for this demo, and the reason being is it's very they already have some of the DL which helps to create the token authentication easily. Okay. And those who doesn't have Postman, which helps to test the web API, please download this Postman from online, which helps to test the web API. Okay, alright, so let's go ahead and create a web API. Press OK. So this is the core web application structure, which has controller code and startup. Startup keeps main code, and controller which has the API methods. So we're going to create a right click. So foremost thing we trying to do is we create a new API controller code where when user the idea is when user go to Postman, just try API/auth/token. So imagine your site.com/API/auth/token. When they call this URL, so they get the idea is when they calling this URL, they should also send basic authentication with username password. For example, admin pass. So the idea is they will send admin pass, username and password to us. So our return result should have the token, JWT token, so which they can use it to work on the other API to use the other API calls. So the first thing they have to get the token, and then using the token they should call other API to use it. Okay. So we need the API auth token. So I'm going to create a new controller called auth. Okay. Add. Alright, auth controller. And in the auth controller, we are going to create a new method called token. So the idea is when they call our site.com/API, controller name, which is auth/API/ one second, hold on. Okay, so the auth control created. So we're gonna create a route first. To get it faster, I'm gonna copy paste from there instead of typing. Alright. Here API/auth, which is this / what we need is token. So here I'm going to say HTTP post, and we'll get token. That's the method name. So here I'm going to call this also token. Alright, so when the user call token, so the idea is we're going to return back to them the actual token value, which is JWT token. Okay, all right, let's go ahead and so let's return this. We're gonna have two returns for now. Return token string. Okay, for now string token string equal to some value for now, test. Okay, and we're gonna say okay. Okay, all right, so let's test this one to verify this URL at least working. Go ahead and run this. Okay, now we got 15814. Let's copy this. And paste this, verify, and then another URL going to be this /auth/token. Okay, it's not working. Let's see, API/auth/token. Yeah, it's not working because we're sending the wrong method. So just change to post, and we want to send actually basic auth. That's the idea. And now send, which is getting test back. So instead of test, we need actual token. So let's go back here again. So the first thing, what we're gonna do here, variable and token string equal to new JWT security token. So that's what we want to create. Token. Okay, so let's create this and open brace, close brace, or close. Alright, so we don't need this anymore. I'm gonna cancel this off. We want this has a few properties. This has a issuer. These are the properties we can create to distinguish our token value. So here, as issuer, I'm gonna say mysite.com. Okay, and audience, I'm gonna keep the same one for now. We can when you're developing, you can keep the other names, mysite.com, and then what we're gonna do is each security JWT security token should have some kind of claims, which will keep your user ID or roles for the current user role. So those value will be easy. We can keep it in claims. How we use in all other authentication, they keep the claims value, like who is the user requesting for this token. Okay, and then we can keep expire on. So I'll keep date time now dot add minutes of 1. Okay, and let's see. And then the other thing we're gonna do is claims. The claims we're gonna add here. Okay, let's do the claims variable. Claims date delta equal to, all right, new claim start showing. Oh, sorry. Security claim. Here I'm gonna give security. Sorry. Security claim type. We need to say claim types dot. I'm gonna add a name, comma. So this is the username. Just imagine we are sending a username here. Okay. All right. So let's put this one here. Claims data. All right, and then the main thing we need to add here is signing credentials. Okay, signing credentials equal to what we need, JWT signing credentials that all be used in signing JWT token. So the JWT token has 3 parts. The first part is header. The headers will have what kind of algorithm we're going to use. The second part will keep the claims, and third parts will keep the signature of this token. So this is the part signing credential. That's where we're gonna say what kind of algorithm we're going to use to sign this token. So there are 2 different ways we can use. One is symmetric key, which is HAMAC algorithm, HMAC algorithm, and other one is we can use public private key certificates. So in this tutorial we're going to use that symbol secret key algorithm, which is much easier to develop now, and in next video we can use just a few small changes to use private public key algorithm. Okay. Alright, so now let's start. We need a sign-in credential. To create sign-in credential, we're gonna create variable, and first key equal to. So we need a key equal to new symmetric security. I hope I typed correct. Right, yeah, symmetric security key, right, open, encoding. So right now I'm going to use the some secret key here directly, but when you're developing, you keep the secret key in your config file. Okay, so encoding dot ut, oops, sorry, dot get bytes of, here we're gonna pass some value. This is like, imagine this is one of your secret key, which is comes from your config file. Okay, so once we get the key, and this is where the next step is, we're going to sign that key using HMAC algorithm. So let's create a variable signing key, where sign-in credential key of what kind of algorithm we're going to use. Okay, variable sign-in cred equal to new signing in credentials of we need a key and algorithm. The key we already have, which is symmetric key, and then algorithm. What kind of algorithm we going to use? Algorithm, security algorithms dot, I'm going to use here HMAC 256 signature algorithm. Okay. Alright, so I think we are almost there to generate the key now. So now just take this one, pass it here. So now what we did, so we have the claims data, and we have who is the issuer, audience, all those kind of data, and we have the signature, this algorithm to sign the key. So now let's go ahead and run this application and see what we're going to get out of this. Alright, let's do this. Send. See this one. So what we received is actual how the data looks like. So if we haven't sending the token, how people should use, others use it. Right now, if you see that it has a claims data, and see that issuer is my site, and it has that it has expiration date, and it has a username, it has that audience, who is the audience, and also it has payload. So when what we talked about before, which is keeping the signature, what kind of algorithm we're going to use. This is the encoder header payload, and this has the algorithm. See that it's using 256. So this has all the raw data, how this is using all this data together, combined, and then finally it will send the token to the user. So that's the next step we're going to do. So let's minimize this and go back to our application. The one step we haven't done yet is to send the token, send the proper token to the user. So now we're going to create actual token. Stop this. Variable. I'm going to change this as a token, and we're going to create token string equal to new JWT security token handler. So what we created is JWT security token. Now we're going to using security token handler to convert this token actual raw data into base 64 the token value. Write token. You send this token inside. So this will have the three parts, which is this will have the actual token string. The first part will be will have the header information. The second part is the claims and all those kind of data. Third part is that signature value. All right, let's go ahead and run this. Okay, good. Send. See, now we received the actual token. If you see this token, there are three parts. See, this is the first part, is ends in dot. This part is the header information. The second part has the claims data, which includes audience, which includes that username and all those kind of data. Third part is the signature details. Okay, so now we are we are done with our token authentication. What we're missing is we are sending you admin and username, but we never use this value. So let's make 3 changes to the code to use this value. Close this one. Here I'm gonna check here is if request dot header. Okay, hold on. Before that, variable header equal to request dot headers. So I need to get the authorization value. So here if you click the headers, this is what I need to get, authorization, which will have the basic value. So then we can get from the basic, this base64 value, we will get the username and password to verify in our database to check that whether this user and password is valid or not. If they are valid, we create the token and return back to them. Okay, so just here pass headers, and we copy this value. Rather than copy type. The registration. Okay, here so we'll have headers. Now we need to get verify header has start with basic or not. That's the first step we need to do. If you see that, it's sending the basic, so we need to check whether this has a basic. If the basic is not there, then we are going to send them back, says that we don't trust this data, or we cannot verify this request. If this is there, then open, close, we'll do all this stuff. If this not there, then we say return, or we can do one thing. Return bad request. Okay, and then we'll say something wrong. Okay, and then close. Okay, so the next step is, now we know header has a basic. Now we need to get the username and password. So variable cred value equal to headers dot, we need to get the substring of we don't need basic. After the basic we need that string, and then we convert that base64 string into a regular text value, which will have a username and password. Dot trim. So now, right, okay, now we have a cred value which is base64, that this string, we'll have this string now. From this string we need to get the username and password. Okay, cred username and encrypted value. Okay, cred value. So we need to get this convert into encoding. We need to this is in base64, so we need to convert that base64 to regular value. So to do that, we're going to do that encoding dot utf-8 dot from get string of convert dot from base64 string, which is cred values. Okay, so this should have username and encrypted which will have that username password together. So what then next step is we need to get split. So usually what this will have is this will have the value of something like this: admin pass. So but we need to split this value to get the value, and so to do that, user name and pass. Okay, and then I'm gonna say username. The name is very confusing, but ignore this for now. When you develop, you spend time to put proper naming. Okay, so we split. Now next step is, now we have username password, and here I'm going to check username password. This is where we're going to check against database whether username password exists in database or not. So here we're going to, instead of this is, we can check in the DB username and pass exists. Okay, here instead of DB, I'm directly calling username pass of 0 equal to admin, and username pass of 1 equal to pass. Then we do this. Okay, alright, so there's one more things here. We hard coded the username. Instead of that, I'm going to pass this username pass of 0. Let's run this and verify this working or not. Okay, right, go back here. I'm going to send this. It's working. So what if I change this to something else? Let's see. See, it's got the wrong request. So if we send the right username password, we send back the proper token. So now we have the token. So the main part is done. Now the API is done. Actually, the API is done for anybody to use this token authentication. They can use this API for their token. And so what is the next step? The next step is who is going to consume this token, and to verify if the token is correct, they can use it. They can let the user to go ahead and proceed with their application. So for first thing, what I'm going to do is here I'm going to say authorize. All right. The moment I say authorize, this application, if anyone accesses this API / value / any kind of method, they don't get any results back. So because it's not authenticated anymore. So now we have the token. So how the user going to send the token to next step is, each time they request any values, they should send the token to us. That's called bearer token. Okay, I'm going to run this one to show that authorize is working or not. See, now you got the error. Before it was showing some kind of value. Now it says some kind of error, says that it's not working anymore. Okay. Alright, so let's, even if I go to API, the Postman, and run this, you don't get that result back anymore. Okay, so what we have to do next step is, we're gonna create a method, few lines of code to verify the token which user going to send. So how the user going to send? So it's the token created for 1 minute. They just copy this, and then each request they send bearer token, and they should pass this value. copy. Okay, and then they should send this. So right now it doesn't work. That's the code we're going to develop now. Okay, so in this configure, so if you go to the startup, there's a section called configure service. There we're going to add one more service dot. Now already we have add MVC. Now we're going to add a new service called token services dot token validation parameter. Okay. Sorry, sorry, I made a mistake. Actually, add token authentication first, and then we need to add a token validation parameters. Add authentication. That will have the there we will add new token parameters value. So here I'm adding new add authentication. Before we add this, there's one more step I forgot to use. So we should say app.use authentication. We are saying we need to use authentication hereafter. Okay, that's one step. And then here we're gonna say add authentication. What kind of authentication we're going to use? Here we're gonna use Jwt bearer default token. This IntelliSense doesn't show all those stuff. Bearer default, I think is correct. Let's see. Yep, that's right. Bearer default, so we're gonna use authentication schema and add here. There's one thing we need to notice. There are many different authentication we have. So our main goal is anything we do in this area, so all related to JWT. So here we're gonna so there may be Google other authentication it might be working on, or OAuth is other authentication working on. So we're gonna use JWT bearer, where we have the option of adding. So what we need here, open brace, it says some options we can add. So I'm gonna add some few options, and all right. Okay, so now we have the main place where the authentication should work. So when the user send the token, so this is where it validates whether the token is valid or not. So here we can tell, here we can specify same secret key which we used in the auth controller here, and also we're gonna use one more says that what kind of things to validate. I'm gonna say that validate signature key, yes. Validate. Sorry. Options. Dot. So how we created that token, the same way we're going to create a bunch of properties here. Says that here, if you go here, we created issuer, audience, claims, sign-in credentials. So here we're going to tell that please validate that issuer, validate issuer, yes, true. So we can say yes, I want to validate issuer, validate audience, yes. Validate audience equal to true, and then we say validate sign-in key, issuer, validate issuer sign-in key, yes, I want to validate that true, and so valid so also we can specify what is a valid issuer. So here I can say the same name where we put there at mysite.com. So this will make sure this is the site, this is the valid issuer, and this is valid audience equal to mysite.com. Okay, and then we can specify what is the signature key we're gonna use, issuer sign-in key. So this is the same key which we'll be using in the other place, the same key we're gonna use it here too. So you can copy paste the same key. Keep in mind that this key you should be using what do you call you should get it from the configuration. Okay, so I'm gonna copy paste here. So now we have the key. Both keys should be same to work correctly. So right now, as I mentioned before, we're using the secret key which will be in configuration, but in the next tutorial possibly, or you can even give a try with private public key to verify. So imagine you have you have a company where only one team or one project will have the token provider, and then that will be this auth controller, and the other projects who are using this token, they can have this bunch of section of code. So the token provider always provide the token, and then whoever using that token authenticates, they don't need to worry about all the authentication part. They just need to add this code, and then the remaining will be taken care of by the auth controller. That's a different API. It's when you develop the single sign-on, those kind of application is much easier to develop. So you can give that token, this URL to the other user to verify the token, generate the token, and then they can verify in their code the token is valid or not. Okay, I think we're almost done. I'm not let's give a try to make sure it's working. Alright, just go back here. This is generating token. Let's go back to our, so we send this token now. Now we got that 40 unauthorized. I'm thinking this could be because our token got expired. So I'm gonna copy this new let's generate the new token. Copy this. Maybe some other issue. Let's give a try with this token first and see it's working. So it's working. So now authentication start working. So what if I change something like this with sending some token? So it won't valid, so because 401 is unauthorized. So now the token authentication is ready. It's working perfectly well. So we created the authentic token, and then we verifying the token here using bearer token. So one more last step before I think we are done with this tutorial. One more thing before I go ahead and stop this. For the next video, or to know how here, this is the section. You can say I want to use private public key certificate for the token authentication. can say issuer sign-in key, and then you can say new X. See, this is what we need to use, right? This is that 509 security key. That's where we're gonna pass the certificate to create authentication. Alright, thanks for watching. I'll be keep posting a few other videos related to token authentication, or the other video probably I'm thinking we will take this project and create this as a separate project. Authentication will be running separate project, and then whoever consumer of the token will be having a separate project, and we'll test it out how it's gonna work out. Okay, thanks for watching, and please send me any comments or any improvement I should take, or any other videos needed.